Hi, I'm Umbreon Libris, and this is my Pokémon Violet Adventure Journal. I started the day by finishing off all of the remaining classes and final exams. Unfortunately, not all of them were as satisfyingly difficult as math and biology were. Salvatore asked again for what his own name is, for example. And I did still get 5 out of 5 in all exams, except for art. Funny enough, I probably just missed the question that was about how many waterfalls are part of the 10 sites. I could remember 2 for sure, but I answered 3 because I couldn't remember what all of the sites were. Anyway, I still passed. After the finals, I went around chatting up all of the staff, and it turns out that Ryfort actually tells you more about the shrines and the stakes, and actually marks all of their locations on your map, so now I can more easily find that last shrine and see how much more there is to find. She also specifically mentions that there are 8 stakes per shrine, which means I probably lost count at some point because I don't remember finding 8 purple stakes in the southern area, but guess I did. And now, knowing that there's only 1 chain left on both the blue shrine and the yellow shrine, I can tell that there's at most 2 stakes each for me to find. I would really like to be able to unlock at least 1 more shrine entirely on my own before looking up the locations of the stakes. So now that I have a good notion of what's left, I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to do that. Since I was already at the school anyway, I headed to the schoolyard to confront Cassiopeia. As soon as they show up, it's obvious that it's Penny. She confirms that she wants to break Team Star apart so that they won't be in trouble. She really deeply cares about them and thinks that this is the best way forward. She has a very cute team of Eevee evolutions, but unfortunately she leaves out Glaceon and Espeon in favor of the vastly inferior Vaporeon and Leafeon. Clearly she did not make the right choices because she was no match for my team. After that, Clavel reveals himself to Penny, and she actually seems to be genuinely surprised. It's similar to the Masked Royal, for example, where it's very clear to the player that it's Kukui, but not every character in the game seems to recognize that. This is a little bit silly, but it makes for some pretty decent dramatic irony. So even though Clavel was not personally responsible for all of the conditions at the Academy that led to Operation Star in the first place, he does assume the institutional responsibility, and he makes all of the right calls. Other administrators might give really strict punishments, or even force the Team Star members to disband and then assimilate into the student body, but that's not what Clavel does. Keeping Team Star together and then also giving them a purpose and bringing their skills and their passion into the institution is the ideal outcome. So overall, I loved this story. I think it's the strongest story in any Pokemon game. It does have a couple of minor faults. I mentioned the fact that Clavel wasn't the director at the time of Operation Starfall being one of them, and the other one is actually about this final scene. I felt like this scene was missing a big moment of some kind to really grab me. I don't know if Cassiopeia's identity was clear to everyone, so maybe that's what that reveal was meant to do, to be that big moment, but because for me I had figured it out long ago, it didn't come as a surprise. So even though I thought it was a very good resolution overall, the final scene just didn't pack the punch that I was hoping it would. With Team Star in good shape and a budding friendship with Penny, I decided to head to the Pokemon League since it was basically right next door. On the way, I rematched Cabby Paco. His Crocodile had swept my team the last time I was here, and this time I shut him down without taking a single hit. Gita greeted me at the doors of the Pokemon League, but then it was basically straight into the champion assessment. I wasn't really expecting that. I mean, I don't know how involved the champion assessment is, but I thought I was going there to meet my bestie, Nimona, because she appears on the map, so I was thinking that there would be some kind of final rival battle sort of thing. Maybe she'll be the champion that I need to battle at the end, but still, I wasn't quite mentally prepared to take on the entire assessment and the Elite Four and all of that. Not at this time. So instead, I decided to go battle Arven at the lighthouse. And unlike Penny, he put up a real fight. I was even surprised by his Greedent KOing Ziggurat to start off the battle. But I recovered and I was able to turn the battle around. And then he sent out his Mabustiff and made me feel really bad that I was gonna have to beat up his injured dog. I faltered a little, but I did manage to win. I thought that this battle was the last thing I would need before heading into Area 0. But Arven says we need more allies. We need someone who's good with tech, and we need someone who is at least a champion rank trainer. So, guess that means I have to go back to the Pokemon League at this point after all. Champion assessment, whatever it entails, can be the first thing I do in the morning. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next chapter.